I want to do another video for this book, The Alchemist. The last one I kind of went off on a different tangent about my own personal beliefs. But I really want to talk about The Alchemist and what I think Paulo Coehlo was trying to convey in The Alchemist. To give you a brief summary of The Alchemist, it's about a boy named Santiago, who's from Andalusia in fields in Spain. And he decides to venture off into life to seek his personal legend, to find what he's here for, to find his treasure of life, his purpose in life, his meaning of life, which I think a lot of us really strive to do. And through his travels, he comes across obstacles, and he finds awesome relationships, and comes through struggles like being stolen from, and thinks at times that his personal legend is just a dream that's out of reach, and that maybe he should just give up and go home, which is another thing I think that a lot of people go through when they're trying something new in life and they're going after their dreams. But he fights on, and he powers on, and he comes to terms with a lot of realizations about life. And I can really relate to Santiago because my life's been very similar to his in the aspect of traveling and always going after my dreams. And and I think that eventually Santiago, he finds his personal legend, and he finds his treasure, and he finds out that he's really his treasure, and that the treasure of life rests within him. I've come to this realization now too, is that life was the gift, life is the greatest treasure, and that I'm grateful for life, like Santiago's grateful for his life, and that you don't really need to go searching out in the external world and changing things and trying to fix stuff to find happiness and to find true joy and to find passion. But I will say that the man who spends his life going after his dreams, whether he gets them or not, will live a more fulfilling, loving life than the man who settles for mediocrity out of fear. Because the reality is that there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear out there. There's nothing that can ultimately do anything to fear. I understand if you have children, it's a different subject because you live for your children. But if you don't have children and you're not going after your dreams, I'm going to ask you why. And I suggest that you read The Alchemist, because Paulo Coehlo was really talking about in this book, it's a lot about the law of attraction and that we create our own world as well. And just like I said about dreams being the most important aspect of life, that and having faith. I believe that faith is the ultimate vehicle through which we can make our dreams become a reality, because without the faith, you won't really take the action necessary to go after your dreams. And that faith comes with study, and it comes with belief, just like confidence does, and just like the loss of fear does. For me, it's a little bit easier because, I don't know if you know my background, I was a commercial fisherman in Alaska for 8 years, and I was a drug addict for 8 years. So I've seen a lot of bad situations, and they really made me come to terms with life and death, really. And death's not something to be afraid of, not for me at least. I've seen a lot of it, and it's just another part of life in my opinion. And, Paulo Coehlo actually talks about this in an interview, that he said he talks to death every day, and him himself, he sees death as a beautiful woman. And I think this is an important thing for most of us, is, the way Paulo Coehlo, who wrote The Alchemist, lives his life is like it's his last day here. So he gets everything out of each day that he possibly can. And a lot of us go through life saying, we'll do this tomorrow, we'll do this tomorrow, we'll do this when the time is right, thinking that we're going to live forever. And that's not the case. This is one of the messages that they convey in The Alchemist, that nothing, your life isn't forever. Your soul, your spirit, your energy may be eternal. We don't know. We won't know until we move on to the next phase, which is death. But there's no reason to fear death, and ultimately there's no reason to fear anything, because if you don't fear death, what is there to fear? Nothing. And this can be attained, this complete loss of fear of everything. So many of us are just scared of everything, and fear is ultimately the thing that holds us back. Fear is the thing that creates war. Fear is the thing that stops people from living to their full potential. Fear is literally what is the unseen force that fights against humanity. Fear is the source of evil, if you will be. And there's no reason to be scared of anything, because this life is beautiful, and this life needs to be cherished, and you need to get out of each day everything that you can. And I just don't want anybody here to settle for fear, because it will hold you back in life forever. And like Santiago and the Alchemist, there came times where he was scared. And there's been times in my travels, I won't lie to you, there's been a lot of scary times, there's been a lot of struggles. I've been broke in Colombia, I've been in some hairy situations in South America. I wouldn't even get into the years of drug addiction and the scenes that I've seen there, or the things I've seen on the Bering Sea and the close calls I've had out there. I've nearly lost my life quite a few times. And I don't mean like, oh, it was a close call. I mean literally to where I almost died, injured and such, or in a bad situation. But I have a great respect for death and for life. And I know that life needs to be appreciated and respected because it really is the greatest gift, and that your personal treasure, your personal gift is life. It's the greatest thing that you have. And you have the ability to control your life and control your thoughts and to get everything you want out of life. All you need to do is go for it. And you can't let anything stand in your way. You can't let people stand in your way. And like I said, I really, I can't even tell you enough how much this changed my life, this book right here. It's my second time reading it, and every time I get something new out of it. And maybe right now you're struggling, to find your purpose here, to know why you're here. And this book can help you, The Alchemist, It's a fiction book, of course, but it really goes into depth about why we're here in humanity, and about faith, and about spirituality, and about the alchemist, about creating our own world, And the thing about the alchemist is that an alchemist was a person, a philosopher, a scientist, if you will, all the above, who was always striving to find the secrets of life, whether it be through the philosopher's stone, which was said to be a stone that once an alchemist figured out how to make it, they could take a shard from the philosopher's stone and melt it down with lead, and it would produce pure gold, which was basically, eternal riches, or infinite riches, what I think's a dream for a lot of us. And the elixir of life, which was eternal youth and everlasting life, which is something that man's been going after forever. But he talks about there's two types of alchemists in the world, in the book. And there was the alchemist who would lock him away in studies. And while realizing that gold was just the most highly evolved metal there is. And, they can't explain why. Doesn't know why, but it's just the way it is. But that lead, like gold and like iron, like steel, all served a purpose. And that we're all perfect, right? They're all perfect right where they're at, just like people are perfect wherever they're at. And that they're just in a stage of evolution and a stage of growth. And, and this alchemist realized that through his growth, that the world would grow and transform around him, just like as us. As we evolve and we grow as people, the world transforms around us. Our success transforms, our relationships build and grow and become beautiful things. And he realized that each of these metals had a purpose in life, and that nothing can deter any other thing's purpose in life, whether it be a seashell, it's like you listen to a seashell when you pick it up and you hear the ocean. And the reason is because the seashell's definite purpose in life is to be in the sea. And the only time that sound will stop is when it's returned to the sea, and that's his personal legend attained. But, off the track a little bit, but people are just saying, nothing can deter you from your dreams, from your personal legend. But this first alchemist, he just realized that this lead, this steel, that it had its purpose, but that when the lead was done, when it wasn't needed anymore, that it would evolve into, the next highest metal and so forth until it evolved into the highest form, which was gold. And then there was the other alchemist who would just strive for the gold all day long. He was always trying to obtain gold, but ultimately never found his riches, never found his life, because he never tried to grow as a person. And he never realized that his evolution, that his world around him would grow with him. Instead he tried to find the easy way. And the secret, was that the riches were inside of him, and that by his growth, like I said, the world would change around him. And these are things that can convey to life, that if you want a better way of life, if you want to be rich, you better start working on yourself first, because you need to work on yourself more than you work on your job in order to grow as a person, in order for the world to grow around you, in order for your wealth to grow, and your success and your abundance to grow, because it will literally grow with you. And it doesn't matter if you're lead right now, if you're struggling and you're at the bottom, there's a purpose for it, and it's making you a stronger person so that you can evolve into the next phase, and eventually you can evolve and you can grow into that shining gold. And once you've hit that pure shining gold, your purpose can then be to go and inspire others who are at the bottom to raise up and teach them how to turn their lives and transform into gold themselves and to be pure and shining, beautiful, because we are already beautiful. We have a purpose here, and we can all grow constantly. We're constantly evolving and growing people. And I learned a lot of this from The Alchemist and other books I've read, like The Science of Getting Rich and Think and Grow Rich. And like I said, I just want to shoot this video to really recommend this book to you guys and kind of give you an idea of what it's about. And I got a little bit deeper than it maybe, not even really actually. The book got way deeper than I did. I tried to sum it up, which is hard to do because it's such a deep book. That's the way I should say it. But read The Alchemist if you haven't read it yet. And if you're looking for a way to grow, like I have, I don't know if any of you that know me, could probably see the change in me and the way I speak and my confidence and my life in general. And I've grown so much as a person in the last 6 months, and I'm continually growing. And I want to help others grow too. I want to help you grow. I want to help you find your definite purpose. That's my chief aim here in life, is to help you find your why, to find out why you're here, and then to help you do what you need to do to get that goal, to obtain your why. So with that being said, click one of the links below the video, enter your email, and get started today. Let me help you find your why, and let me help you grow as a person and turn into that shining gold that you know you are. You already all are, but help you realize it. Take care. My name's Hank Klinger.